So, good morning, one and all. So, let us start the fourth chapter, detection theory. So, now we are entering into the noise analysis of digital communication. That is nothing but we call it as a detection theory. Now, so let us start this fourth unit. Now, so the first and foremost thing is what is the difference between the performance analysis of analog and digital communication. So if you remember properly, so the performance analysis of noise analysis of analog communications, so we have the parameter there was SNR, output SNR, correct? What is that? So output signal power by output noise power, correct? So this is the measurement that we have done for analog communication. So this is the quantity which measures the quality of the output in case of analog communication. So we always wanted to have a high SNR for better performance of the communication system. Now, so when it comes to digital communication, so in digital communication, what is the purpose of the receiver? First of all, in digital communication, what we transmit? What we transmit? We transmit digital data. Okay. So generally data means binary data. What are they? It is a sequence of zeros and ones. Binary data means sequence of zeros and ones. So what we transmit? We transmit sequence of zeros and ones, something like this. So this data is being transmitted. Okay. Now, so what is the purpose of the receiver? Okay. Suppose how many distinct symbols or bits we are transmitting? Only two. What are they? Either 0 or 1. The distinct bits are only two because binary. Binary means only two different or distinct symbols or bits. Now what is the job of the receiver? Okay, so we transmit data after modulation. So noise will be added in the channel and we have a receiver. So what is the job of the receiver? So it has to accurately determine which symbol is transmitted. Obviously here we have only two possibilities. Either we might have transmitted 1 or 0. Now the receiver has to determine accurately which symbol was transmitted. Okay, let us take this is a symbol S0, this symbol S1. So at the receiver side, the job of the receiver is to determine accurately whether S0 is transmitted or S1 is transmitted. That's it. So the job of the receiver is to accurately determine which symbol was transmitted from the set of symbols. Okay. Now here, so the best measurement for digital communication is, okay, so the best measurement for the digital communication is probability of error in the decision making. What is that? Probability of error. We denote with something like this, probability of error. What is the probability of error in the decision making at the receiver? Which means, so we may get errors. What type of error? Suppose 0 is transmitted, but you are decoding as 1. Obviously this is error, right? Or one more possibility is 1 was transmitted, but at the receiver you are determining as or you are decoding as 0. Okay. Now this is the possible errors. Okay. So we have to find out what is the probability of getting error. We have to find out what is the probability of error in decision making. Error in decision making. Probability of error in decision making. So this measures the quality of the output. Obviously, we should have a less probability of error. We should always want less probability of error. Okay. So it is also called as bit error rate. BER. In the shortest form, we call it as a BER. What is that? Bit error rate. Is the quality measure of the communication system. Okay. So now So the performance of digital communication system is measured by what quantity? Probability of error, or it is also called as bit error rate, BER. These are the performance analysis of digital communication. But for analog communication, what you have done? You have done for output SNR. For analog communication, what is the metric for digital communication? Probability of error, or it is also called as bit error rate. Suppose if I say bit error rate equal to 10 power minus 6. Okay, so 10 power minus 6 can also be written as 1 by 10 power 6. Okay, so 10 power 6 means it is 10 lakhs. Okay, so which means if you transmit 1 million bits, 10 lakhs means 1 million. If you transmit 1 million bits, okay, among them one is wrong. Okay, it indicates that if you transmit 10 lakh bits, among them only one is wrong. This is a bit error rate. 10 power minus 6 means what? So if you transmit 10 lakhs bits, means zeros and ones, among them only one is wrong. Okay, suppose if I write 3 into 10 power minus 6, the bit error rate is 3 into 10 power minus 6. It means among 10 lakh transmitted bits, only 3 are wrong. 3 bits are wrong. Okay, now always we should have a very less bit error rate. Okay, now so this is the quality measure of the digital communication system. What is that? Probability of error, also called as bit error rate. Now, so this is the model of a digital communication system. Okay, I will explain each and every block later, but so we have a source encoder, modulator, channel and receiver. Receiver means demodulator. Okay, it is a detector followed by decoder. So we will discuss each and every block very clearly, but this is a basic block diagram of a digital communication system. It has modulator as well as demodulator, which is a part of a receiver. Okay, so before that we have something very important, that is called line codes. What it's called? Line codes. Or line coding. What does it mean? So converting bits into a waveform is called line coding. What do you mean by this? Here in digital communication we transmit data, digital data. Data means what? Zeros and ones, correct? Now, so zeros and ones should be represented as a waveform. Okay, you might have seen so many ways of representing the binary data as a waveforms. Okay, so the most famous one was on-off. On-off means what? If symbol is 1, we transmit a pulse P of t. If symbol is 0, we transmit nothing. If symbol is 1, or if bit is 1, we transmit a pulse P of t. P of t is a pulse. Okay, if bit is 0, nothing is transmitted, means 0. Now what do you mean by this? Suppose, so if I draw the on-off waveform, it is something like this. This is something like, let us take like this. Okay, so what do you mean by this? There is a pulse P of t, which means it is symbol 1 or bit 1. There is nothing is transmitted, 0. Again 1, again 0. Okay, this is the on-off coding. What is this? It's called on-off. Correct? What is the pulse? Okay, so what is this duration? It's called bit duration. Every TV seconds we get a new bit. Okay, so what is the pulse now? Pulse is this pulse. P of t is a pulse. What is P of t? This is a pulse. 0 to 1, 0 to TB 1. Okay, so now this is the on off coding. For symbol, for bit 1 we transmit a pulse P of t. For symbol or bit 0 we don't transmit anything. Okay, nothing is being transmitted. That is called on off. So what is that on off? On off where 1 is transmitted by pulse P of t, 0 is transmitted by no pulse or 0 signal. One more line code is polar. Polar means we use polarity. Okay, what will happen here? For bit 1 we transmit pulse P of t. For bit 0 we transmit pulse minus P of t. Okay, now what will happen now? Suppose if I want to represent this data like 1 1 0 0 1, can you draw the polar waveform for the above data? It's very simple. Let us draw the polar waveform for the above the data. 1 means pulse P of t. Sorry, pulse P of t. Okay, 1 means pulse P of t. Again 1 more pulse. 0 means minus P of t. Again minus 0 minus P of t. Again 1 P of t. Okay, this is called polar. Okay, so what is this? This is 1 1 0 0 1. Okay, now this is called, we are generating the waveforms to the bits. Okay, now so suppose if I say 1 0 0 1 1, now same data can be represented in different ways, two different ways. If it is on off, what is the waveform? 1 means P of t, 0 means 0, again 0, 1 means P of t, again P of t. If it is polar, what will happen? If it is polar, 1 means P of t, minus P of t, again minus P of t, P of t, again P of t. See, same data is being represented using two different waveforms. First one is called as on off, on or off. Second is called polar. Okay, so these are the most widely used line codes. There are so many line codes along with these two, but so they are not important to us for time being. So just remember these two different ways of line codes, on off and polar. Okay, now one more thing, so they are called as NRZ schemes. Okay, both are called as NRZ schemes. NRZ means non-return to 0, non-return to 0. Above two techniques are called NRZ schemes. Now, so by default both are called as on off. Okay, on off and polar, both are NRZ schemes, non-return to 0 schemes. What do you mean by non-return to 0? Okay, so which means, so here the pulse is held constant throughout the bit duration. Okay, so 0 to TB it is constant. Here also over TB duration the pulse is constant, either it is 0 or 1, doesn't matter. Here also throughout the pulse duration, throughout the bit duration TB, the amplitude of the pulse is constant. Okay, so there are another ways also. What is that? Return to 0 also is there. RZ schemes, they are separate schemes. Okay, where what will happen here in return to 0? Let me tell you a simple example. What they do is, So 1 means they do like this. This is for symbol 1. This is over TB. Here what is the difference? So the pulse has come to 0 before TB duration. Okay, but in this is RZ, return to 0. It is returning to 0 before the next pulse arrives. But here in non-return to 0, the pulse will be constant throughout the TB duration. Either it is 0 or 1, it is over the TB duration, it is constant. But here what happened? So in the halfway, in the midway, it has come down. It has come to 0. It is returned to 0. So there are different things. Okay, but remember these two schemes are analogy schemes where during TB duration the pulse will not come to 0. Okay, by default we use only analogy schemes, right? Okay. Now let us get into the digital modulation schemes. Before that, let me briefly tell you what are the analog modulation schemes. Briefly, what are they? Amplitude modulation, angular modulation, or they are also called as frequency modulation and phase modulation. Correct? Here also we have, this is for analog. This is for analog. Okay. Similarly, in digital we have amplitude shift keying, frequency shift keying, and phase shift keying. This is analogy, right? So in the same way we have this is for digital. These three varieties, we have three varieties of modulation schemes. Just like AM, ASK, FM, FSK, PM, PSK. Okay. So what they are called as? ASK means amplitude shift keying. FSK means frequency shift keying. PSK means phase shift keying. Okay. Now, so in this course we study only binary techniques. Binary techniques. Generally we study only binary techniques. Binary means what? We transmit only two distinct symbols. Distinct symbols means what are they? Either 1 or 0. We transmit either 1 or 0. Okay. Binary. Okay. So with 1 and 0, how many symbols you can generate? Only 2. Right? Either 1 or 0. Okay. So binary. Suppose using 2 bits, how many symbols you can generate? This is only 1 bit. Binary means 1 bit. 1 bit. If you use 2 bits per symbol, there are 4 possibilities. 2 bits means 4 possibilities. You know already. What are they? 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1. How many symbols are possible? With 2 bits, the symbols are how many? 4. With 1 bit, how many symbols are possible? Only 2. M equal to 2. M equal to 2 means 2 symbols. In each symbol, there is only 1 bit. If you use 2 bits in a symbol, you get 4 symbols. Same way, if you use 3 bits, how many symbols you can generate? Obviously, m equal to 2 power n. That is 8. 8 different symbols you can generate. Okay. So we are transmitting. Okay. So here, this is called a symbol. This is called a symbol. In a symbol, how many bits are there? 2 bits. This is a symbol. Here, symbol. In a symbol, how many bits are there? Only one bit. Here, so if I use, if I take m equal to 8 symbols I want. So to get 8 symbols, each symbol should have how many bits? 3 bits. What are they? 000, 2, so on, 111. Okay. So in a symbol, how many bits are there? 3 bits. Here also 3 bits. So n is the number of bits in a symbol. So if it is so, the number of symbols equal to 2 power n. You know already these things. Okay. Anyway, so we start with binary modulation schemes where we use only two symbols, 1 or 0. Okay. We transmit either 1 or 0. Basically start with binary. So later we go for m equal to 4, m equal to 8, so on and so on. That is extension. Okay. Now, so let us go to the basic block diagram first. Okay. Yeah. What happens here is either we transmit symbol 1 or symbol 0. Now just now I told you, so they have we transmit symbols for every TB seconds. Please remember, for every TB seconds we transmit a bit or symbol. Here bit is same as symbol. In binary case, if I say symbol or bit, same, because in a symbol there is only one bit. Okay, so which means, so what we do, suppose like this, you are transmitting some sequence of bits. So this is a symbol, this is another symbol, symbol. So what is the duration of each and every symbol? Only TB seconds. For every TB seconds we transmit a bit. Bit could be either 0 or 1, that's it. Okay, so TB is called bit duration. What is TB is called? Bit duration. So every TB seconds we transmit a new symbol or bit. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So here what I want to say is, so if I transmit suppose 0, after modulation it is, let us take S1 of t. For 1, after modulation it is S2 of t. I will explain all these things later. Okay. Now, so what is E1? E1 is energy of S1 of t. Okay. What is E2? E2 is the energy of S2 of t. Right. So we are transmitting two bits, either 0 or 1, or two symbols, 0 or 1. Now, so what I want to say is, let me go back to this diagram. Yeah. Here we have a source. Okay. We get data from the source. This is the encoder. Now SI. From SI, after modulation we are getting SI of t. Please remember, the output of the digital modulator is SI of t. What I have written here? After modulation, 0 becomes S1 of t, 1 becomes S2 of t. Okay, I will explain everything later. So for time being, just remember that after modulation 0 becomes S1 of t, 1 becomes S2 of t. Okay. What is E1? Energy of S1 of t. What is E2? Energy of E1 is energy of S1 of t, E2 is energy of S2 of t. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So here what happens now? SI of t is transmit over a channel. Okay. Now, so let me draw this here. Yeah. So please remember this. This is a modulator. Okay, modulator. So the distinct symbols are only two, either 0 or 1. Now at the output of the modulator, 0 will be transformed to S1 of t, 1 will be transformed to S2 of t. Okay. So the output of the modulator is S1 of t or S2 of t, depending upon whether you are transmitting a bit 0 or bit 1. Okay. After that, so we transmit over a channel, right? Channel will add some noise. This is channel, some noise, random noise n of t. Now what is the output of the channel? We call x of t. What are we calling it as? X of t. X of t. Okay. Now here in this case, what is x of t? Yeah, x of t is something like this. Okay, x of t is, suppose if bit 0 is transmitted, what is the output of modulator? S1 of t. Now this will be transmitted over a channel. In the channel, noise n of t will be added. So then what is the output of the channel? S1 of t plus n of t. This is for bit 0. This is for bit 0. Okay, you can write anything, bit 0 or bit 1. Okay, no problem. Now suppose bit 1 was transmitted, then what is the modulated signal? S2 of t. Now this will be transmitted over a channel and noise n of t will be added. Then what is the output of the channel? S2 of t plus same noise n of t. It is for symbol 1. This is the output of the channel. Now it depends upon, output of the channel depends upon which symbol was transmitted. If you transmit 1, it would be different. Then if you transmit 1, it would be different. Okay. Now it is interchange, no problem. Anything you can write. One more thing. Yeah, everything is defined from 0 to TB only. Very, very important. Let me write this. S1 of t and S2 of t. These are defined only from every TB seconds only. Okay, here also we take same reference, 0 less than t less than TB. Okay, because every TB seconds we get a new bit. Okay, now so optimum threshold, you leave this, I will explain later. Now the error probability can be expressed as, in terms of more basic parameter, that is called energy per bit. Please remember, what is E1? Energy of S1 of t. What is E2? Energy of S2 of t. Now we have one more parameter, that is called EB. Very, very important. It is called energy per bit. Okay. Now, so we transmit 2 bits. What is EB? EB is energy of the first bit, E1, into its probability that m equal to 0, plus E2, energy of the second bit. What is second bit? 1. So into probability that m equal to 1. So please be careful. Energy into its probability plus energy into its probability. Okay. So here we assume that all are equiprobable. All are equiprobable. All symbols are equiprobable. We have 2 symbols. What are they? Symbols are 0 and 1. If they are equiprobable, what is the probability of occurrence of 0? Is same as the probability of occurrence of 1. That is same as how much? 1 by 2. If they are equiprobable, so the probability of occurring 0 is same as 1 is same as 1 by 2. Now what is the EB now? EB equal to E1 into 1 by 2 plus E2 into 1 by 2. Now the bit energy, average bit energy is E1 plus E2 by 2. This is very, very important. What is E1, E2? So energies of signal S1 of t, S2 of t. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So now let me briefly recap what I told you just now. So we transmit either 0 or 1. Okay. So after modulation, they will become S1 of t and this is S2 of t. You can interchange, no problem. Just notation, no. Either you can write S2 of t, S1 of t, no problem. You can write anything. So this is the data or bits we are transmitting or symbols. This after modulation. Now, so they have energies E1, E2. Now each and every symbol is defined only from 0 to TB, I mean over TB duration. Every symbol is only defined over TB duration, that is called bit duration. Is it okay? Now what is the bit energy per bit, EB? That is, if these two are equiparable, if they are equiparable, what will happen? So energy of first bit plus energy of second bit by 2. If they are equiparable, please be careful, otherwise you should go with this formula. This is the formula. Where is the formula? This is the formula. So if they happen to be equiparable, so obviously this is 1 by 2. Okay. Now it is the receiver. What input to the receiver? X of t. Now it is something like this. S1 of t plus some noise, S2 of t plus some noise. So here it depends upon which symbol is transmitted. It can be for symbol 0, it can be for symbol 1. Be careful. Okay. Now, so let us get into the modulation technique. Binary phase shift keying modulation. Okay. Binary phase shift keying modulation. What the first modulation? Binary phase shift keying. In the short form, it is called as BPSK. Okay. So binary means we are transmitting only two symbols. M, we call M. M equal to 2. Binary means M equal to 2, which means we are transmitting two symbols. Two symbols means what are they? Obviously, it could be either 0 or 1. 0 or 1. Okay. So in a symbol, there is only one bit. What is the bit? 0 or 1. Phase shift keying. PSK. Phase shift keying. There is a shift in the phase of the carrier. Okay. Now, how it is done? Okay. Yeah. Yes. Okay. So what they have taken? For symbol 1, S1 of t. Okay. So what they are saying is, after modulation, you get S1 of t, that as A cos omega ct for symbol 1. Symbol 1 after modulation becomes S1 of t, that is this. Okay. Now S2 of t. What is that? A cos omega ct plus pi. It is for symbol 0. For symbol 0 after modulation becomes S2 of t. What is S2 of t? This. Now, what is the difference between S1 of t and S2 of t? Here the phase is 0. Here the phase is how much? Pi radians. The phase shift is pi radians. What is this? S2 of t. What is S2 of t? A cos omega ct plus pi. What is that? Minus A cos omega ct. For symbol 0. So basically, S1 of t, S2 of t, S1 of t, S2 of t defined like this. It is A cos omega ct. It is minus A cos omega ct. It is for symbol 1, it is for symbol 0. So, we take symbol 1. After modulation, you get S1 of t. That is A cos omega ct. Symbol 0. After modulation it is S2 of t, that is minus a cos omega ct. Now if you observe S1 of t, S2 of t, what they differ in? They differ in the phase. They have the same amplitude, same frequency, but the only is they have a phase shift. How much phase shift? Pi radians. So they have a phase shift of how much? Pi radians. Pi radians are 180 degrees. So in BPSK, the carrier undergoes a phase shift of 180. Okay. So this is actually the correct one, plus pi. But a cos omega ct plus pi means cos theta plus pi is minus cos theta. Okay. Now here, okay, so let me write the symbol 1, symbol 0 after modulation becomes what is that? Symbol 1, symbol 0. Yeah, let me write reverse. Symbol 1 after modulation become S1 of t. Symbol 0, it is S2 of t. Okay. Now all these two are defined over a TB duration only. Please be careful. What is TB? Bit duration. Okay. Okay. One more thing is how these two are defined. S1 of t, S2 of t. They are just negative of each other. Okay. So I can say that S2 of t is minus S1 of t, or reverse also you can write. Okay. Here we have S1t, S2 of t. S1 of t, S2 of t. How many signals we have? 2. M equal to 2. We have a set of 2 signals, energy signals. What kind of signals they are? Energy signals. Okay, there is one more thing here. S1 of t, S2 of t are energy signals, not power signals. So generally people will get confused. They think that a cos omega ct is there, that's why they are power signals. No. Why? Why not power signals? Because as I told you, they are defined only over TB duration. If any signal is time limited, that is always a energy signals. Okay. Are you getting what I am saying? So what I am saying is, suppose if I write a cos omega ct without any limit on the time, it is a power signal. But if I write a cos omega ct defined only TB duration, it is a energy signals. Okay. Because a cos omega ct here is defined only over TB duration, not over entire duration. Okay. So that's why S1 of t, S2 of t are 2 energy signals. We have a set of 2 energy signals. Are they independent? No. Why? Because they are not linearly independent. Why? Because S2 of t can be written as minus S1 of t. Obviously, they depend on each other. Only one is independent, other one is dependent. Obviously, what will happen now? The number of basis functions required are how many? Only one. Here we have a set of 2 energy signals which are linearly dependent. So that's why we need only one basis function. That is phi 1 of t. Okay. Right. Okay. So here let me briefly discuss these energy signals. These are modulated signals. S1 of t, a cos omega ct. It is for symbol 1, I guess. Right. What is E1? E1 is energy of S1 of t, which means integration 0 to Tb S1 of t whole square dt. Can you find out this? What do you get? What is E1? Energy of S1 of t. What is S1 of t? A cos omega ct defined from 0 to Tb. What is this? This is a square Tb by 2. You find out this. What is E2? That is energy of S2 of t. What is this? What is this? It is also same as. Why? Because S2 of t is minus S1 of t. If you take square, it is again S1 of t. So obviously it is also A square Tb by 2. So the energies are same. E1 is same as E2, that is same as A square Tb by 2. All are having same energies. Now, what is EB? Here we assume that all the symbols are equiproggable. That's why EB equal to E1 plus E2 by 2. What is E1 plus E2 by 2? E1, E2 are same. What is E1 plus E2 by 2? Tell me, what is that? That is A square Tb by 2. EB equal to A square Tb by 2. From this, what is A? Root 2EB by Tb. This is A. What is A? Amplitude of the signal. Now finally, what you can write? So let me recall here. S1 of t is A cos omega ct. It is for symbol 1. S2 of t is minus A cos omega ct. It is for symbol 0. But what is A? Root 2EB by Tb. You can replace that A here. Now S1 of t is equal to A means root 2EB by Tb cos omega ct. S2 of t equal to minus 2 root EB by Tb cos omega ct. This is the final equation of BPSK. It is for symbol 1, it is for symbol 0. This is the final modulated signal of BPSK. It is called BPSK because binary phase shift keying. It is binary because we are transmitting only two symbols, two signals, S1 of t, S2 of t. Phase is shifted. Why? Because they have the same amplitude, they have same frequency, but the different phase. How much difference? 180 degrees or pi radians. Why pi radians? Why not other radians? Because so the total phase is how much? 2 pi by total signals or symbols 2 pi radians. So they differ by pi radians or 180 degrees. Yeah, these are the waveforms. Okay. One more thing, I forgot to tell you. One more thing is, here we are writing omega ct, no? Omega ct is a carrier frequency. Omega c or 2 pi fc. Fc is a carrier frequency. Fc should be equal to some n by Tv, where n is an integer. N should be an integer. Okay. Why it is so? Here, if I say Fc equal to 2 by Tv, okay, which means here this 2 indicates number of cycles over Tb duration. Okay. So in this example, this is S1 of t, S2 of t. How are they? They are negative of each other. Furthermore, over Tb duration, how many cycles are there? 1 cycle, 2 cycles. Here it is also 1 cycle, 2 cycles, which means here n equal to 2. They have taken n equal to 2. Here n indicates number of cycles of a carrier over the TB duration. If n is 3, you get 3 cycles. Means what? The waveform would be like this. S1 of t. What is S1 of t? Let me take A cos omega ct. This is S1 of t. Defined only from 0 to TB. But over TB duration, it should have n cycles. Suppose if n equal to 3, what would happen? So let me take 1 cycle, 2 cycles and 3 cycles. This is S1 of t. Over TB duration, we have 3 cycles. Why 3? Here I have taken n equal to 3. If you take n equal to, you get 2 cycles, so and so. Okay. This is S1 of t. What is S2 of t? Take negative of that. You get S2 of t. S1 of t, S2 of t, a pair of sinusoidal waves that differ only in a relative phase shift of 180 degrees. There is only one basis function of unit energy, namely. Okay, right. I told in the last class how to find basis function. Take a signal, divide with its root of energy. You get a basis function. Okay. What is E1? What is E1? What is E1? How much E1 you got? A square TB by 2. Okay. Now S1 of t by, find out. So what is S1 of t by root E1? Okay. How much? A square TB by 2. What is S1 of t? S1 of t by root E1. You find out this, you get answer. Okay. What do you get? You get like this. Root 2 by TB cos 2 pi FCT or cos omega ct. Okay. What do you get? Phi 1 of t is root 2 by TB cos omega ct. Okay. This is the, it is also different from 0 to TB. It is actually, it should be orthonormal, but here since it is we are having only one basis function, there is no question of orthogonality. Orthogonal means minimum we should have 2 signals. So it should have unit energy. Find out whether it is having unit energy or not. You have to find out whether 0 to TB phi 1 of t whole square dt equal to 1 or not. You have to verify. It should be 1. Okay. Right. So we stop here. We continue in the next class. Thank you.